Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday. It's 2:45 a.m. I am on my way to the gym. Today is a special day, and it comes on the heels of a situation that I found myself in yesterday, and getting ready to go to church and is somewhat of a hectic situation inside of my house, and it sparked a fight between me and my wife about not being ready, about who was taking care of what responsibility, about what was being done, who was doing it, and was everybody holding up to their responsibilities. And it started a pretty big fight. My wife actually was crying on the way to church. And I don't say any of this out of some type of pride. I don't say this because I was right, she was wrong. I'm saying that it happens, and that it didn't end just at that fight in the morning. And it wasn't physical. It wasn't anybody saying anything disrespectful, but it was said in a way from me almost as if I was trying to control. And it started again later on in the afternoon after church, as we were preparing food, getting things ready to eat. It started again, and I ended up throwing I think it was some leftover from a restaurant we had went to. And I am literally stepping outside of my body as this is happening, and I'm thinking, Jermaine, have you lost your mind? You are losing complete control, and your wife is fighting back with you. She's not throwing anything, and we're not saying anything, in a way that it is intended to take a shot at you. But once again, I found myself being controlling. The argument, the fight, ordinarily, these situations, what was happening, I would have just found myself busy, involved in something else. But these fights happen. And I noticed, I looked down, my kids were outside playing, Malachi was gone, and the two littlest ones are watching me throw this styrofoam thing of food on the ground. And they're watching how I'm acting. And I'm like, your kids are watching you. It wasn't until later on that afternoon that I had realized, as I'm laying there in the bed and I'm reading a book and I'm looking up some things and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on? I had a great weekend. Spent time with my older son, spent time with my wife and the whole family yesterday. Went to church, and I come home Sunday morning after I go and get some coffee, and I started an argument. Crazy, right? Crazy the things that we'll do when we're in our happy place. Start a fight. I got my wife crying on the way to church. It happens. You find yourself just a little too happy. Just a little too immersed in something that's good. And you just want to just ruin it. You're craving that feeling goes away. And I'm thinking, oh, I spend too much time with you guys. I normally don't spend this much time. I could be doing something else. And then I start harassing her about her phone. Why is she on her phone so much? Controlling. Hey, put your phone down. Hey, if I could give up my work, and I got lots of deals going on, lots of business I could be doing. What do you got going on where your phone is so important that you've been staring at it the majority of the time that we've been together? Don't you know that I am sacrificing my time for you? Control. Control. And you can become so immersed in this control that you don't even know why. You don't even call it control. You just say, hey, I'm doing the right thing because I'm here, and what you're doing is irritating me, so therefore stop it. Little do I know, I was taking it out on my wife because it wasn't actually that things were going too well. It was an accumulation of things I hadn't handled. See, just as much as not doing the right thing for the family will affect you, not doing the right things in other areas of your life will affect you. I remember we were driving on Saturday and I said, I got these really great ideas and these great plans, but it feels like I don't have enough time. Either there's not enough time or I'm not using my time wisely. I said, what do you think it is? She says, I think you're probably not using your time wisely. I'm watching properties in my own subdivision go up for sale by other realtors. The same subdivision that I used to prospect and I used to hand out flyers and knock on the doors and talk to these people. It's 60 homes, 65 homes. But yet I stopped doing it. So that must be my family's fault because I'm giving them time. Or did I just not plan it out right? Did I not utilize my time in the best possible way that I could? And I take it out on my family. I said that I pledged money to the church that I said that would have been paid over 10 days ago. And it wasn't that I didn't have the money. I just didn't make the donation. I just didn't honor the pledge. See, when you're conscious based, meaning when you know the right thing to do, that eats at you. That eats at you. When you find yourself starting fights and arguments with people who have not done anything to you, that does something to you. And you gotta know that it's something inside of you, something that's going on inside of you that is creating this situation. Or you could just simply tell yourself, I'm too happy. Too happy. And since I'm too happy, I plan on doing something to destroy it. Well, I'm a little more rounded than that. I don't believe that that's my situation. I wanted to control my wife because I was out of control myself. Yeah, and even though I told her I was sorry, I apologize, and that's not enough. How many times do we not live up to the things that we said we would do, and then we end up taking it out on somebody else? I mean, I'm talking about, I'm like, dude, like, why is you tripping? What is your issue? What is your malfunction? Where's your disconnect? What's going on that's really got you acting this kind of way? It's because I simply did not do the things that I said I would do. It always comes down to you didn't do what you said you would do. It would have been easy if there was really an issue and the issue resided on the other side. Then you say, hey, this is your problem. You did this. But I walked in the door and I was intentionally starting things that I knew I could have resolved in a different way. But yet I felt the best way to handle it was, let me gain some leverage on you and tell you what you're supposed to do. And I did it all day. I mean, I'm literally sitting there laying in bed like, how the hell are you even dealing with this? My intentions was not to hurt my wife. My intentions was never to let my kids see me acting like a big child, having a fit. My intentions was not to control, but everything that I was projecting was a result of something that I was lacking or not doing that I said I would do. So my reaction and my acting out was simply me projecting what I was feeling about myself. I had no self-control, so let me control you. I have no excuse, so let me just act like a damn adult baby. And at the end of the day, it all came back down to me. At the end of the day, it always comes back down to you. We only want to control somebody else's when we're out of control. We only want to start a fight when we feel like we don't have any fight in us. Because for me, I know that's a fact. It's so easy. It's so easy when you've legitimately done something to me for me to say, that's on you. That's completely on you. How do you feel about it? But when you've done nothing to me and I'm lashing out at you, I know that that's me not happy with me. And it's an accumulation of things. I said I would get the flyers out. I would market the neighborhood. I said I'd make the contribution. I said I'd get the insurance taken care of. I said. But when you say and you feel to do, it creates a different feeling in you. And it's not a feeling of pride. It's a feeling of disappointment. It's a feeling of let down. It's a feeling of failure. And this whole weekend, I may have hid it by doing other things and saying, hey, I'm involved with the family. Look at what I'm doing. Hey, check me out. And take the pictures and post them on Facebook. And I might do all that. But inside, something else is boiling that's saying, you're not taking care of business. This is what people do when they've earned that time. And I had it. I had it for the taking. And I didn't do the right thing. So then I come into the weekend and I'm like, well, I earned this time. To my standard, no. To the standard of low expectations, absolutely. I did enough. I did enough. But that's a lie. I didn't do enough because had I did enough, I wouldn't be arguing and acting like a damn spoiled brat with my wife. Yeah. When you're the man of your home, the problem starts and ends with you. What am I going to do? Look at my 2-year-old daughter and say, fix this? My 17-year-old son, fix this? My wife, who I happily have always stood in support of, hey, fix this? Fix what? As the man, if you want something fixed, you got to fix it. But you can't fix it until you recognize where you have made your faults at. And I couldn't see it yesterday. I was just on this tirade. Just going. If you want it fixed, you step up, you level up, and you handle business. That's the problem.